Welcome to the class. At the time of recording we have a heat wave, so we need to cool down, soothe the body, so forward folding is really soothing for the body, quietens the mind, and so it's going to be a little bit more relaxing. So either lying down, or you could sit up with your legs crossed, sitting on a block and closing your eyes with hands in Namaste. Or you can start to lie down now, rest the body, close your eyes for a moment, taking your senses inwards, just focusing on your breath. The breath is cool and dry as you inhale, and becomes warm and moist as you exhale. And you don't have to do anything. We're always doing. We need more time to just being. So you don't have to force the breath. The breath, thankfully, will carry on its own. So just focus on the tip of your nose and where the breath goes. Just breathing in and breathing out. Last week I gave you a short reading from The New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, wonderful book, and it was about what happens, not minding what happens. Following on from there is a little story. It's actually all about the ego. The ego is often the problem in life. The Zen master Hakuin lived in a town in Japan. He was held in high regard, and many people came to him for spiritual teaching. Then it happened that the teenage daughter of his next-door neighbour became pregnant. When being questioned by her angry and scolding parents as to the identity of the father, she finally told them that he was Hakuin, the Zen master. In great anger, the parents rushed over to Hakuin and told him with much shouting and accusing that their daughter had confessed that he was the father. All he replied was, "Is that so?" News of the scandal spread throughout the town and beyond. The master lost his reputation. This did not trouble him. Nobody came to see him anymore. He remained unmoved. When the child was born, the parents brought the baby to Hakuin. "You are the father, so you look after him." The master took loving care of the child. A year later, the mother remorsefully confessed to her parents that the real father of the child was the young man who worked in the butcher shop. In great distress, they went to see Hakuin to apologize and ask for forgiveness. "We really are sorry. We have come to take the baby back. Our daughter confessed that you are not the father." "Is that so?" is all he would say as he handed the baby over to them. The master responds to falsehood and truth, bad news and good news, in exactly the same way. "Is that so?" He allows the form of the moment, good or bad, to be as it is, and so does not become a participant in human drama. To him there is only this moment, and this moment is as it is. Events are not personalized. He is nobody's victim. He is so completely at one with what happens that what happens has no power over him anymore. Only if you resist what happens are you at the mercy of what happens, and the world will determine your happiness and unhappiness. The baby is looked after with loving care. Bad turns into good through the power of non-resistance. Always responding to what the present moment requires, he lets go of the baby when it's time to do so. Imagine briefly how the ego would have reacted during the various stages of the unfolding of these events. All you've got to do, I think, is watch a soap on the TV and you'll see it all. So, yeah, which is quite interesting. Okay, so we're going to sit up. So if you're lying down, come up to sitting on a block with your legs crossed, lengthening the spine up, lifting the collarbones, elbows a little out so that the chest is open. Have some bit of air around you. The more space we can make in the body, the cooler we'll be, won't we? Lifting the crown of the head, feeling that openness, at least in the top body. So, can we keep that openness? You may need a block of something, or something to come forward. That helps. So you could place a block in front that way or that way. It depends how far you think you can come forward. But as always, the forward bends from the hip crease here. So if you're using a block, you can just walk it forward, forward, forward. Keep the chest lifted. Keep the length that you just made in the spine. If you can reach by fingertips, that's fine. I have these spider fingers. So lengthening up here, breathing in. As you breathe out, if you suck in the tummy, bring it back a little bit. Firmly on your bottom and hips released. And maybe you can come a little bit forward. Look up, look across the room. Breathe. On the next out breath, and you come any more forward, but without rounding the spine. Breathing in, breathing out. That may be as far as you can go. If not, try and get some movement, if that's a movement in the body rather than moving the hands forward. So breathing in, breathing out. So I'm just moving a little bit here. And then I find, oh, I can move my hands a little bit forward. Breathe, and then come back. Sitting up, bring your hands behind you, a little bit apart there, and then you can sit up and make some more space in the body. Breathe in and lift, and lengthen, 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 and breathe out and bring the arms down. Okay, so we're going to start off in child now. Front of the mat with your hands, bring the toes together, knees apart, walk forward, 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 or move your body back if you're on the edge of the mat, and lift, 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 and bring the shoulders back. Try not to lift the chin too much, just look along the mat a little bit and along the floor, and then move your bottom back to your heels again. If that's difficult, you might want to come up a bit and move the hands, or you could place a block under the bottom of your feet here, because you can really press down on there if you couldn't reach your heels, and get a really nice stretch from there. Bring the head down. If the head doesn't go right down to the mat, use a book of block or back or something, or cushion there. If it goes out easily, then just the forehead down. You should be able to rest it there. And breathe. And then looking up again, and look at the hand, spread the fingers, middle finger in the middle, extend it forward. Then we're going to go into dog pose. So, bring the crook of the elbow here to face the elbows to face the front. And tuck the toes underneath, hip width, breathe in, breathing out, sucking the tummy, lifting high as you can. High, how high on tiptoe can you go? Pin your bottom to the ceiling and come back, back, back. Moving all your weight back, pressing your heels down. Don't worry if they don't reach. The mat, again, lovely, lovely stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. Open out the backs of the knees. And then we do a slow walking dog. So you're going to bend the right knee and you've got more of a stretch on that left leg. You've got to get to breathe. Breathe in, breathing out and change. So it's the right, the straight leg, the right knees open at the back. It's more of a stretch on the leg, isn't it? Breathe in, breathing out and change. Just get a bit of the rhythm with your own breath. Changing, changing. Make sure you haven't tense the shoulders or anything. Or tensing the face, that happens. So just a little bit of walking rhythm. And then come back to dog pose. Breathe. Walk your hands back, back into Uttanasana, forward bend. So the tummy is in and up. You're folding over. Let the head go. If the backs of the hands can go to the mat, that's fine. If you're not that far, maybe place on top of your feet. Maybe hold the ankles, but very lightly. It shouldn't be stopping you from coming forward. Or you could maybe put block maybe outside your feet or something. But try and be relaxed. So, and drop the head. Now, relax the back of your head. And if you feel here, the neck should feel very soft. If you're looking up, oh, this is tense here. You're tucking in too much or stretching too here. That's not a nice angle. And if you can just let go, let the weight of your head start to take you down, and it's lovely to make space in the cervical necklaces. Breathing in, breathing out, letting go. Walk forward, back into dog pose. Feels again. So come forward. It's going to dog with the head up. Bring the shoulders back. You have to adjust if you've got wrist problems. You probably know what to do by now, don't you? Bring the shoulders back. Breathe. Maybe we'll forward a bit more. And then back into dog pose, breathing in, breathing out. And then walking back, back into your forward bend. This time you can fold your arms, placing your thumbs in the crook of the elbow. Drop the arms down, tuck the head in a little bit, but without bringing the shoulders to your ears. Keep the shoulders relaxed back. Keep those toes spread. Make sure your feet are facing forwards. And just letting go. Keeping your bottom up. Maybe do you like to change the cross of the arms? It's a bit different. Forward into dog again. Bring your arms forward, shoulders back, heels down. then we're going to go into full child, toes together, knees apart, forehead down, and backs of your hands by the side of your feet, and just rest there. And breathe in and come up. Then we're going to do some leg stretches with a belt. So get your belt or tie or whatever you've got and lie down on your mat. If you need head support, then something under your head if you know you lift your chin. So, if you're lying down. Start off with your feet on the mat. Then extend them out, feet together, and let's do lying down Tadasana, lying down mountain pose. So shoulders down, walk the hands down, shoulders back, so you can feel the shoulder blades flat on the mat. Stretch your heels away from you, your toes towards you, all the toes. This includes the little toe. Okay, then bend the right knee in, getting hold of your belt. Bring the belt round the foot. Stretch up and move this hip back, the hip of the leg that you're lifting. Out a little bit so the chest is open, and don't forget about the left leg there, still working the same as it was when you had both legs down, so super glue that leg down. Breathe in. As you breathe out, move the hip and the thigh away from you and the foot towards you a little, pressing the lower abdomen down. So the leg, you should be straight. So if you're not right up here, you can be here down a bit, that's fine, as long as the leg is straight. Stretching well, breathing, getting some benefit from the stretch, from the strength it takes to keep the other leg in place. Now we're going to put the belt just in the right hand, left hand on your hip. As on the next out breath, turn the hip out to the side. Now really press on that hip quite hard. If you don't, you're going to roll over, and then that's really spoils the posture. So breathe in, breathing out. Keep this hip down. You can bend the elbow a little bit and bring it down if you want to. But can you keep everything else in place as you, not too much, as you bring the leg out? Take a couple of breaths. Breathe in and bring it up. Place it now in the other hand, excuse me. Place it now in the left hand. Now place your thumb in the crook of the hip crease of the right one, keeping that hip away and down. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just bring this one a little bit across. And this left one, again, shouldn't have moved, so have a look at that. Bring it, and that only goes over a little bit. And if you put, because if you've got this thumb here, this stops any rolling on this side either, so just a little bit across. Breathe. And come back up. Now come back to straight up again and centre. Okay. Shorten the belt a little bit because we're going to lift up. Breathe in. Breathing out. Chin down, come up. Climb up the belt a little bit more. And look at that knee. Can you get it closer a little bit without disturbing the other leg, of course. Holding it tightly but not gripping too hard. If I take my little fingers off, it stops me gripping too hard. And then slowly down, down, down. Bend the knee in and change legs. So, lying in
20 minutes.
lying in line to us first stretching both legs. Now pinning the right leg down, bend the left one in, stretch up, keep this hip, right hip away, shoulders down, working the other leg. Breathe in as you breathe out. Move the hip, the thigh away, but the leg towards you a little bit maybe. Try to keep the leg straight without lifting or shortening the hip. Shoulders down. Make sure the chin hasn't lifted. Pay attention to the right leg that's on the mat. Should be working hard. Keeping strong, keeping down. Okay, then put the belt just in the left hand and press hard down on the right hip with the other hand. Make sure the shoulders are down. Breathe in, breathing out. Going out to the side. You might want to bend the elbow, bring it down, as long as the main thing is under control. And there's the other leg and the hip still in place. And it should have this turn of the hip and the hip socket turning out. Breathe. Try and keep the body in place. Breathe in and come up. Place the belt in the right hand, crook of the thumb in the hip crease there, move it away, and that goes the other side. Are you paying attention to the leg that's on the mat as well? That doesn't go over too far, because otherwise this hip's going to come up, isn't it? Which we don't want. Breathe in and come up. Okay. So hold the belt both hands now. Make it a little bit shorter. Breathe in. Breathing out, chin down, and come up. And can you get any closer to the knee? Shoulders down, chin down. Breathing in, breathing out. Just gently. Bringing the leg in, lifting the body up. It's a bit of tummy work as well, isn't it? And slowly release. Take the belt off. Have a little rest. You're going to stand up now, do a couple of standing postures. You will need a chair or a wall or a shelf or something in a minute. Chair's quite good. And standing on your mat. First of all, we're going to do a wide leg forward bend without the wall of the chair. So if you place your heels on the back of the mat, nice and wide with the legs and the feet facing forward. Most people will need a block. The block can be up that way or that way to come forward onto. So start off there and see how it goes in the middle. Okay, let's have a nice stretch up. Lengthen. Bring the arms out. Feel that space. Breathe in and stretch again. Now we're going to come forward from this hip crease here, aren't we? So breathing in, breathing out. Now, can you keep your bottom in line with the back of the mat? Strong legs, outside of the feet, down well, and come to the block. So you can come a little bit forward, but make sure you haven't moved your bottom forward. If you think you get a bit lower, keeping the back lengthening and straight, not rounding the back to get down. Okay, so lower abdomen has to start to round, doesn't it? So if you think you're about to go a bit lower, or put your fingers down, you have to judge that for yourself. You can start off with spider fingers and look up, smile, breathe, lengthen. Then maybe you can walk in. Maybe you can put your hands down, or perhaps you're still on the block. So, nice leg stretch, lovely extension of the body, and starting to forward bend. You might want to come a bit, just gradually down. You might feel you can go a bit wider with the legs, or maybe it's too wide if you're feeling strain in the inner thighs, you've gone too wide. So we have to judge, don't we? If it's too easy, we're not doing anything. If it's too hard, we might injure something. So you have to get that middle ground where you're working sensibly, stretching sensibly, using the breath, as you know, I'm sure. Then maybe moving back. So, depends where you are with this. Maybe you can bring the arms through and the backs of the hands through, keeping your bottom up. So, you just have to go with the out breath and let go and see where you go really with this. Move the hands back. You can hold the ankles as long as you keep the shoulders away from your ears. Just see what's working for you, basically. So the legs straight, and the back as straight as you can get it. And then start to think about coming up. Start to even coming up, so walk the hands. Spider fingers. Use the block accordingly. Look up. Extend the chest a little bit forward. Breathe. Now, can you come up? So, using quite a bit of strength to come up with those straight legs and straight back. Breathing in, coming up. Then walking the feet in towards each other. Just have a little wiggle out. See how the legs feels. Back a good stretch. Now we're going to do wide angle forward bend past Tadasana. So you need to stand away from the chair in Tadasana. So good mountain pose. Keep the legs together, tail down. Chest up, shoulders down. Okay, hands on your hips. Turn the left toes out slightly. Step forward with the right. Now, really be on the outside of the back foot. Spread the toes and bring the hips to face the chair. Particularly keep this right hip back. A bit here. So you're going to really make the legs work. You might want to bring this leg forward. And so hands on a chair here. Could be a wall, a shelf or something. And sliding forward. And if you put a chair, it's quite nice, particularly if you've got something soft, or you could put a blanket there. And place your forehead on the chair. But this is only if you're stretching enough. Or you might need something a bit higher to put your forehead on. That's quite nice actually. And extending from there. Holding it there, keeping the right hip back, the shoulders away from your ears, just lightly down with your forehead. And if you feel, you can maybe after a breath or two come a little bit down. I need something in between with that really. I'll just keep the head almost on the chair or just in line with your body. Up. Feet, turn the feet to the long end of the mat. And then change. Standing in Tadasana again. Tall. Turn the right toes out a little. Spread the toes, step forward with the left. Now make sure you've got a good spread of the toes, not too much out of the hip would turn, but too much in, and it's difficult to balance. So edge this, you might want to edge this left foot a little bit forward, keep that hip back so the hips are facing the chair. Breathe in, breathing out, extend forward, extend forward. Right, try and keep those hips in place. Bring the hands forward, bring the head down. You can either balance it on the chair or just keep it in line with the back if you're not putting it on anything, if you're using a wall or something. Make sure the shoulders are even as well as the hips. There's quite a lot to think about, isn't there? Breathing in, breathing out. Turn your feet to the long end of the mat. Come up. Now the full posture is done with the namaste hands behind, so we're just going to have a go at that. So, back to Tadasana. Now, let's see how we go with the prayer position with the hand. If you can't do that, then just fold your arms. So, just start to bring your shoulders back a bit and turn your palms up. And fingers in line with the spine, and turn the left toes out. And foot forward. Now turn the shoulders towards the chair or the wall. We're not going to actually use that, but just that way. Bring the elbows back if you can. Bring the right hip back. Try and keep the head in line and bring it down a little bit. To keep the shoulders in line with this as well. Breathing and come up. And change your step back this time. Together. Right foot out, step back with forward with the left side. And try and line yourself up. The face forwards. Keep the elbows back, shoulders back, hips in line, head in line. Breathe in, breathing out. It's always difficult to know where you are in this, isn't it? Because like the shoulder starts to go. Head starts to go. There's quite a lot of work going on. Right, the back extended, shoulders away, elbows back, legs working. Breathing and come up. Bring the feet forward. Carefully undo your arms. No big shaking or anything, but just fingers a little bit. And move the chair out of the way. We're going to do a little bit of work on the mat now. So we're going to be lying on the mat, and Asana, head to knee, so we're bringing the flesh, the bottom back, so we're sitting on our sitting bones here. Can you find them? On them, you stretch your heels away, get your toes in line, have a toe wiggle, move the hands back to support you, lift body up, you've got to work the tummy, lift the collarbone. Keep the head just nicely sitting on top without lifting the chin or dropping the chin. Shoulders down, chest open. Okay. Then we're going to bring the right heel towards your bottom and bring the knee out. If the knee's right up, some people need a bit of support on the knee there. This hip has to stay back. Breathe in and lift and lengthen, breathing out and lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Now, the back does round a little bit, but the main thing is to keep it long and stretch forward. So bring the hands either side of the foot here and maybe walk a little bit forward. keep this back, try and keep the chest facing forwards. Right, and just gradually on the out breath, maybe a little bit more. Keeping the length here, so I like to lift the ribs a little bit sometimes. Coming down, if you can reach the foot, bring the right hand and then the left hand. So you're stretching over this left leg, bring the head a little bit down. The elbow slightly relax the shoulders, forehead towards the knee. Hold. Then carefully breathe in and hold. And change. So, good Dandasana, staff pose, straight, lifting, and then slide the left heel towards the left, into the left thigh, bring the knee out, and find a little support here if it's really high. Just be comfortable, move this left hip back, so we're trying to stay in line here. Work this leg, breathe in and lift. Lengthen. Start to face this leg, this right leg. Now, are you as tall as you can on the out breath, start the tummy in and back. Forward, 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 over the leg, over the leg. Fingertips now. Breathe in, really lift through the front of the body, breathing out. You might want to walk a little bit forward, the head just to stay back. And you're just letting go, folding over that leg, breathing in, breathing out. Forehead down, and if you're reaching your foot, that's the right hand, then the left hand. Try and get some evenness of the shoulders and release. Forward for a moment. And start to breathe in and come up. And then stretch the legs out first, back to Dandasana. Breathe, lift. And then into Baddha, soles of the feet together, couple of pose. You can walk the bottom a bit closer to your heels. And again, can you keep lifted? Can you hold the ankles, bring the elbows back, lift the chest, shoulders down, head just sitting nicely on top. Now, can you hold round the outer feet, breathing in and breathing out and come forward. So the elbows can help stretch the sides a little bit, but again, be careful that you're not overdoing the inner thighs at all. So this is only if it's comfortable for you, and you can do gradually, and then coming forward from there. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, get some length here. Look just across the carpet a little bit on the floor. Release again. And come up. And then bring the feet forward. Again into Dandasana. Move the mesh back again. And we're going to go into Paschimottanasana. Forward bend. Breathe in and lift and lengthen. Breathing out. Tummy suck in and back. start to fold over and slide the hands now. Just hold where it's comfortable for you to hold. If you can reach the side, so it's good. Let's have the feet. If not, just hold your ankles. But we're trying to keep the upper body long here, so we can fold right over, keeping the back working well. So just gently at first, breathing in, breathing up, bring the elbows out. Let the head go down. Look up, look across the room a little, and then lengthening particularly the front body. I like to get under my ribs here and breathe in, lift the ribs, and breathe out, breathe up. There you go, a little bit more. There you go, if you get the hands round. The legs are down, the legs are straight. So the legs are really working hard. Back is, the back's just letting go. Beautiful. Some people get hands a little bit more. Some people interlock them. I'll just hold it up and wrist and some fingers. Try and stay even. Breathing in, breathing out. So it's the legs that are really staying down straight on the mat. Again, then gently letting go, bringing the hands back, breathing and come up and release. And we're going to put our legs up, so against a wall or to have the block underneath. But that's really nice. For the Shavasana, I'm going to do a body scan. So you could put your legs up the wall in Shavasana, or you could do lying down and spreading out and being cool. So you need to get into your favourite position for Shavasana now. And closing your eyes, taking your senses inwards. Again, being aware just of your breath. And getting ready just to let go. Shavasana can be the hardest posture to do because we tend to have a lot of tension and stress in life that stays in the body. So, I'm comfortable now. So, hopefully these affirmations can be used to bring stillness to an agitated mind. So you're just moving through the places in your body, focusing, and as I say the phrase, then saying it to yourself. My whole body is still. I'm occupying my whole body. My hands are still, there is nothing to do. My feet are still, there is nowhere to go. My jaw is relaxing, there is nothing to tense against. My face is softening, there is nothing to express. My throat is soft, there is nothing to say. My spine is moving with my breath. I am fluid. My brain is still. There is no reaction needed. Breath is softening. I feel peace. My whole body is still. I can let go. Slowly bringing your attention to your body now. Look your feet in, bend your knees in. On to the right side, the knees up. Take a couple of breaths. And come to sitting with your legs crossed. Hands in Namaste, or you could sit on your heels. If you want to do Namaste. Just close your eyes. Open your eyes again. Namaste. Keep that soothing feeling, the quiet mind for the rest of your day, for the rest of your week. Namaste.